Oliver Reed once said, "I'm not a villain. I've never hurt anyone. I'm just a tawdry character who explodes now and again." No real villain has ever seen themselves as doing wrong, and they all have a reason for acting the way they do. In their minds, they are the hero. No real villain, when asked what they are doing, would say,
I'm glad you asked that because I wanted to take this time to explain my evil
"All
plan.
villains are misunderstood, rejected individuals that are blind to their own actions. In today's society, people often become rejected for a wide variety of reasons: how they look, what they think, how they act, etc. Coupled with the fact that people want to be part of something bigger than they are, people do things that they don't believe is right. This exposes that there are two sides to every person, and both sides require acceptance and acknowledgement in order to become complete individuals. The novels To Kill a Mockingbird, The Crucible, and The Catcher in the Rye address not only stereotyping, loneliness, and rejection, but also the innate desire in every human being to belong and teach readers to look at every side of themselves in order to be fully developed.
This is a similar concept to stereotyping. In the novel To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee, this new view of stereotyping is touched upon, that there are multiple sides to every stereotype. To find out where someone is in life, they must be able to see both these positive and negative sides to themselves and what they do, and either accept or change these sides. Midway through the Tom Robinson trial in To Kill a Mockingbird, Scout, Jem, and Dill had an encounter with the infamous Dolphus Raymond, who received his notoriety from being a drunk and by marrying a color woman. While the children tried to listen respectfully, Mr. Raymond explained to them,
I try to give them a reason, you see, for people to judge me. It helps folks if they can latch onto a reason. When I come to town, which is seldom, I weave a little and drink out of this sack. Folks can say,
this shows two opposing sides of stereotypes, the way you see yourself and the way others see you. The Princeton Department of Psychology says this by stating, stereotypes are captured in two dimensions, warmth and competence. Furthermore, they've found that a positive stereotype in one of these dimensions is consistent with a negative stereotype in the other. Dolphus saw his notoriety as a simple explanation for others and an amusement for himself, while others saw it as a reason to fear and distrust him, when in reality, someone's image is most likely somewhere in between how others see them and how they see themselves.
According to Dr. Christian Weir, we humans rely on social groups for survival. She goes on to explain, we innately want to be with other people and are willing to do just about anything to achieve it. When people are put in positions similar to Holden's, which many are, they try incredibly hard to fit in and do everything they can, then often begin to see themselves as failures, according to Harvard Medical. In J.D. Salinger's novel, The Catcher in the Rye, Holden Caulfield is a perfect example of someone who was rejected from society. He failed out of school and knew his parents would kill him when they found out, so he decides not to go home. When he meets an old friend at a bar, he pleads, "Just have one more drink. Please, I'm lonesome as hell. No kidding." He just wants any company. Even though Luke, his friend, had been insulting him, he still
Ho
begged
Chi
him
Minh
to
once
stay.
said, "Nothing is more precious than independence and liberty. The independence of one's mind is the greatest gift anyone could hope to receive." Many people of many ages fall to the effects of peer pressure because of the fact they are not independent and need a stronger force to tell them what to do. This is the case in the play The Crucible. The girls of Salem fall victim to this pressure and fight for something they don't believe in. Landauer's philosophy of independence says, "The most important is the independence of one's mind. Life requires man to act in order to achieve his values. This requires the proper use of judgment to not only pick the right values, but to understand the best way of achieving them. To substitute another's thoughts for yours makes it impossible to judge the accuracy of them." In The Crucible, girls like Mary Warren, who were fighting on the side of good, try and stop the destruction of the other girl's actions, gets pulled onto the evil side by pressure and being on her own. Girls like Abigail, who's the villain, thinks that she's doing the right and just thing by getting rid of Elizabeth and then marrying John Proctor. Mary Warren is in court, and she is supposed to be saying that the whole witchcraft mayhem is fake. But before she can really get her point across, She is verbally and mentally attacked by the other girls.
No, I love God. I go your way no more. I love God. I bless God. Abby, I'll never hurt you more.
They all watch as Abigail, out of her infinite charity, reaches out and draws the sobbing Mary to her, and then she looks up to Danforth. Mary falls under the pressure of the other girls and blames Proctor while she rejoins the girls. She fell victim to the pressure of the girls because they had more power being in a group. The importance of one's independent mind would have been crucial in the crucible, but no one would stand up to Abigail and her posse.
Stereotypes, rejection, fear. They are all contributors towards wrong behavior. In our novels, the characters faced all of these. Some of them persevered through to see the true effect of their actions, while others succumbed to the pressure and fell through into their own deadly ideas. Readers are able to learn from these mistakes and help fight the power of these stereotypes, rejection, and pressure that are present in their everyday lives. In the end, a single person may not seem powerful, just as a single book may not seem to be any more than a collection of words. But they have the power to not only fight these negative forces, but to change individual lives and ultimately help reshape the world.
She asked me, son, when I grow old, will you buy me a house of gold? And when your father turns to stone, will you take care of me?